I'm JR.
And I'm Stacy.
And we're going back in time, going back to the pandemic, and we're going to talk about some episodes. We dove into one about Mortal Kombat, but the next one is a good movie from the pandemic that was off and on with me, and I don't remember so much with Stacy, but it comes from West Virginia and Commonplace, and it's Godzilla versus King Kong. Now, one key thing I want to say about this is that this was the first movie that I experienced that had a direct release. It came out in movie theaters and it came out on HBO Max at the same time. HBO Max, we got it because we're AT&T customers, and that's if you want to sponsor us, AT&T, go ahead and do that. So it was a movie that we actually streamed in its actual presentation of Dolby Atmos and all that other crap.
How it was meant to be viewed by someone.
And we reviewed that. I said reviewed, but we viewed it on a projector screen, 100 inches, Nebula.
The Nebula.
And we hope that you enjoy this. The movie, we'll let you listen to the review and you can decide what you want to think.
He only says that because he doesn't remember what we talked about, so we can't give you any spoilers.
Right, I really don't, because this was almost 2 years ago.
Right.
Yeah. So we hope you all enjoy, and remember, follow us on our Twitter, and we will have other social media handles by August of this year.
Look for them in the link or the show notes.
And definitely make sure it's the summertime, and you could definitely have a great movie experience with the Nebula projectors, and they have one for everyone in each value, any price range you want to spend. But outside of that, getting back to this podcast, I want to say this. At the time that we did watch Godzilla, I felt like King Kong should have been stronger in the movie. I do remember that.
Okay.
So we hope you enjoy. Welcome to West Virginia Commonplace. Today is our first ever movie review episode. And once again, I have my co-host with me, Stacy. We watched a very, very, very... It would have been a blockbuster if we hadn't been in this type of pandemic, maybe. But we watched Godzilla versus King Kong. And Stacy, how did you feel about it at the very beginning?
It started out kind of slow. I think we do need to start off with saying that these are just our opinions. They should not reflect what you think of the movie or anything like that. And just be warned, we could possibly give you a spoiler. So if you don't want to know anything about the movie, please pause, watch the movie, and come back and listen to us afterwards.
And I thank her very much for that disclaimer. First off, we're going to give you our takes. Now, my take is from someone that has seen the King Kong movie and the Godzilla movie that accompany this form of Godzilla and King Kong.
And I really don't remember a whole lot about the movies. The last thing I remember is watching one of the Godzilla movies and the mama went crazy because they found her babies. And then the only thing I remember about King Kong is him standing on top of the building with a woman.
All right, so right there that tells you. And those sound like they were taken from previous ones before these iterations. All right, to start off, the movie was very slow. I will agree with you on that.
And there were some parts in it that it's kind of like, okay, let me just pick up my phone and entertain myself for a second. But, I mean, overall, I think it was a fairly good movie. So, before we started watching the movie, you asked me who I thought was going to win if they got into a fight. So, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we'll talk about that first. I did ask her who she thought would win. I was going with Godzilla because Godzilla's got that blue flame, you know.
And I said King Kong because I didn't remember that Godzilla had any blue flame. But I will say, I think King Kong is going to win unless they get him in the water.
Yeah, and that's one thing there that we can both agree on. In the water, Godzilla's got it because all he's got to do is choke you out with his body and drown the monkey.
Right, hold you underwater.
Yeah. So one thing I will say about this is everybody, you can readily watch this on HBO Max, or you can go in the theater and watch this. this is one of those good things that you can do there. I will say that this is our second venture watching one of these HBO Max movies, so it's kind of like I missed the theater because I would have actually gone to the theater to see this and things like that, but HBO Max provides it with that subscription that you can get there. So either way, the movie experience, I can't give you a review of it, but the home theater experience, because we're projector TV people, I can tell you from the very beginning, it was very, what do you want? What's a good word to use? It was very lackluster. It wasn't bright lights and things like that like I thought it was going to be. It had a very slow start. The first 20 minutes built up to some minor action.
Right. And then there were a lot of points in it where it was very nice. I mean, I think the acting overall was really good. You learn some stuff. You see some things and you're like, oh, wow. Okay, that's pretty cool.
And also it starred, don't correct me if I'm wrong, and definitely correct me if I am wrong. Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things, the young lady, she was the one of the main characters on that show. She starred in this movie. It had a whole ensemble of unknowns. Some people might know him. The one dad, I don't know him, but he's in every movie and TV show ever.
Right.
Right.
Like he's on the tip of my tongue of like, oh, I know who that guy is, but I can never remember a name because I'm awful with that.
Right. So I'm going to just go ahead and say that the ensemble and the cast was like this. It's kind of like, since we didn't know their names, it worked out fine, and the storylines that they follow are very tight knit to the other movies if you pay attention to them. One thing that is uncharacteristic in the start of this is the mannerism of Godzilla.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think I remember both of these big guys or females, whatever they are protectors, right?
Right.
So that's what I took of it coming from the beginning. And then going through and seeing those, you're like, oh, wait a minute. Am I completely wrong on what I thought?
Yeah, and the corporation that's involved in there, Apex, without giving any of the storylines away or anything, because I don't want to spoil it, but I'm just going to throw little things in there. And once again, that disclaimer, she said, if you don't want all the spoilers or you don't want to know things, please watch the movie first and before you listen to this all the way through. You've gotten pretty far in the podcast anyway, so definitely take a backseat when you hear this. The attack that Godzilla did on Apex, if you're not familiar with the movies, it kind of makes you draw Godzilla as a bad guy.
Right. And that's what I thought from the previews. The previews of the movie, 100%, you're thinking that Godzilla just went crazy.
Yeah, and then the thing is that they humanize King Kong.
Right.
They make King Kong very likable.
Yes.
And that's something they do throughout the whole movie, I will say. And it's kind of weird because King Kong does some really menacing stuff, and he's very flagrant. He gives, excuse my language, but he gives two fucks because he goes out there and he just does some things to some people. And, everybody, where they humanized him and made him a good guy, as we'll say, kind of made Godzilla,
Right.
It just made him seem kind of out of whack.
Yeah, I agree.
And going forward, the movie, once again, it has some action-packed scenes in it that are very intense. A lot of CG animation and things like that. One scene in particular, King Kong is on a boat, and he just whoops his hand in and eats some fish. And he goes a little wild there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell it's fake, but at the same time, it's like, oh, that's kind of disgusting.
And once again, King Kong has this deal where he is humanized with the little girl. Don't know her name. We'll just call her little girl. And would you tell him a little bit about the scene with the little girl?
Which one?
The one where she's out on the boat with him.
Oh, when she's out on the boat with him, the little girl's deaf. So of course she knows sign language, and her mother, or not her mother, it's
like her guardian.
Yeah, her guardian or aunt or whatever she is. She just goes out there, and obviously you can tell from the beginning of the movie that she has some type of history with him. So it kind of goes from there. I don't want to exactly say what I thought of it because it's going to give a lot of it away, but it's kind of self-explanatory. If you pay attention to what I said, you kind of know.
Yeah. So in watching this, you'll notice like it's a quick build-up after 50 minutes into it. And from the 50 minutes, go another 30 minutes out, 80 minutes into it, you get some intense scenes and some things that are happening that we won't express out here. But we will say this. I'll say this one thing. You get to see both of them in their element.
Right. And like it's kind of different because you have a couple different storylines going on at one time. Like you see what's going on with Kong, and then you see what kind of is going on with Godzilla, and then all of a sudden you have this other group of people that are in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, well, what are they doing? What do they have to do with this? And it took me until the end of the movie to realize, oh, okay. Which, of course, because, I wasn't really familiar with the other stuff. So it was quite different.
And I'll say my take on this, too, is that the extra storyline with the young lady from Stranger Things and the other two guys that run along with her and the rest of the humans in this movie is very fast paced. So if you don't know the other two movies, I would advise going to watch them, and that way everything correlates, because if you don't have that correlation, this movie does not give you great time for character development.
Right.
It really seems rushed to me. Especially on the part of Godzilla, because if you hadn't seen the Godzilla movie, you're kind of like,
what's going on?
What's going on? And you never, to me, you feel a certain way about King Kong in this movie, but Godzilla, they did not give him enough time. It just seems like he's menacing throughout the whole movie.
Right.
Even when he's trying to do something good, it still seems like he's menacing.
Right.
That blue flame and the way he... or whatever the sound is he makes.
Hope y'all enjoy these sound effects.
Yeah. He's like... and anyway, it's just like Godzilla. It's like I'm rooting for him because Godzilla, whatever. And the nemesis in this movie, I will not name or disclose what the nemesis is. The nemesis does not get a full proper storyline. Right,
and that's the thing. Like, I wish it would have had like a flashback to kind of find out what was going on. Like once the three people get to where they are and they find out what's going on with this, I wish they would have had something to say, oh, this is how we got this and this is how it happened, without me having to watch those other movies.
Right, because like I said, that minor character development and story development really kind of make me deter people from seeing it before you see the other two, because if you don't know what's going on, you will not know what's going on in this movie.
Right.
And running at an hour and 50 plus minutes, it's not lengthy, but
right. What's a few seconds to show us what happened?
Right, just some type of minor flashback or something to give detail. I figure if this had been a brighter scope and they were probably running this straight in theaters, a lot of the footage probably wouldn't have been edited and cut down.
Right.
But I will say this. The way this movie is, it's a different arc for both of these characters, and it will more than likely lead to some path in the future, even if it's a prequel or something else. Not going to say a sequel, but I will say like a prequel, something that'll come before to tell a better backstory on both these two characters, because they hint at a lot of references to things that you don't see in the movie, like the ancestry of both of these animals and their civil war. And that's not a disclaimer. I mean, I don't mean disclaimer. That's not a spoiler. That's just, if you listen to the context and everything that's said, they hint at a lot of history, and we never get that history in this movie.
Right. And then I think it also left it open to show something in the future. And I think that would be a good idea. It was a good movie overall. Once, if you combine everything together and you're basing it on, oh, hey, did I like it or did I not? I did like it.
Okay, and on that note, guys, us over here at West Virginia Uncommon Places, we're going to actually leave this one alone here, and we're done with it. I hope you guys get to watch this movie in theaters, in IMAX, whatever way you want to watch it, or on HBO Max. And I hope that you use those two channels of methods to watch it. And I hope you guys enjoy it.
Let us know what you thought of it.
Definitely leave a voice message over at Anchor, or feel free to hit us up at wvuncommonplace@gmail.com or over at Instagram at wvuncommonplace.